What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel, where in today's video we'll be discussing a new theory I recently came across which details how and why Luke Skywalker may have known Rey's parents and consequently also known about Rey as well long before the events of the sequel trilogy. Now, it's only fair that I give credit to the person who came up with this, or at least this is the account that first brought this idea to my attention, and that is the Instagram profile The Gold Saber. So if by some chance they happen to see this video, shout out to them, shout out to you. Now, I'm going to use their idea as the foundation for this theory, but also fill in some of the gaps, or I guess I should say, I'm going to go into a little more depth with my own explanations for how this could make sense. So, let's get into this. The basic premise for the theory is that Rey's parents may have actually contacted Luke Skywalker in the hopes that he would train her and protect her from Darth Sidious, but instead, the result of them reaching out to Luke was actually that they revealed themselves to Palpatine and possibly even revealed Rey's presence, which he may not have even known about to this point. And that would explain how they were able to hide themselves and Rey from Palpatine for those 5 to 6 years before they were killed, because he simply did not know she existed, and at the end of the day, he didn't really care all that much that his son, or his clone I guess, had escaped Exegol and ran away. He just wasn't that important. But when Palps catches wind that his son had a child, and that she had inherited his Force-sensitive genes, now he's interested, and it becomes imperative that he find her actually, not only so that she is not trained as a Jedi, but also so that she can one day carry on the Sith legacy. Recall what Kylo tells Rey in The Rise of Skywalker when she asks why Palpatine came for her. Kylo confidently explains that the Emperor came for Rey because he saw what she would become. And this theory makes that explanation make more sense, because if you think about it, there's really no reason for Palpatine to think Rey would become a Jedi if she's never trained. Of course, he would still have an interest in training her in the dark side of the Force, but for her to become a Jedi, it's likely actually that he had some reason to believe that Luke had found her, or at least that he knew about her. And when he finds that out, whether he knew about her presence before this or not, the seriousness of this situation is now escalated exponentially. Palpatine's entire plan now rests on finding her before Luke does, so unable to leave Exegol himself, he now sends Ochi to take Rey and to kill her parents. So they hide her away on Jakku and then disappear. This draws some more curiosity from Luke, who has yet to meet Rey, but was anticipating that he would hear from her parents again soon. And that's what causes Luke, along with Lando, to pursue Ochi, who will be able to help him find the Wayfinder, and that will eventually guide him to this dark presence he is sensing out in the unknown regions, and that could obviously explain to him what happened to Rey's parents and what happened to Rey herself. But when Rey's parents are killed and Ochi's trail goes cold, Luke is forced to give up the hunt, or at least he goes in another direction, never locating the Wayfinder, and eventually being forced to assume that Rey is either dead, or at the very least, he comes to accept that he will never find her, which is not the end of the world for Luke. He doesn't know that the blood of Darth Sidious runs through this girl. He just knew that he was going to be taking this Force-sensitive child who would become another member of his training academy. He doesn't know Darth Sidious is alive. He doesn't know that Darth Sidious has created a clone, let alone that that clone had a child. So finding Rey is not like this end-all be-all massive thing that he absolutely has to do. So while it may be a weird thing for Luke to handle for a while, it's not really something that probably bothered him for very long after he gave up his search. And of course, this would also add to Luke's curiosity about Rey in The Last Jedi, and it would also add a little something to his reluctance to believe Rey could possibly be this girl whom he'd been searching for so long. Because in The Last Jedi, Luke clearly recognizes that there's something special about this girl, but he's also closed himself off from the Force. So he's not like sensing this unique power in Rey, he just knows that she was sent here, which obviously indicates that there's something significant about her, and you know, looking at her, judging based on her age, it's not unlikely that Luke began to wonder, could this be her? Could this be that girl who I was supposed to take as my student all those years ago? And on the other side of things, in terms of Palpatine, he now has no choice but to continue using Snoke to turn Ben Solo to the dark side, in the hopes that he will be the one to carry the torch of the Sith. Keep in mind, it's very clear in The Rise of Skywalker that Rey is Palpatine's priority. He even admits this to her when he says, "I never wanted you dead, I wanted you here." His whole plan all along was for Rey to take his place so that he could pass his spirit into her. If he had to choose between the two, Kylo was always the backup plan, both in The Rise of Skywalker and in the time period long before that as he was pursuing Rey. Ultimately, he was probably aiming to bring them together. Palpatine would pass his consciousness into Rey, Kylo would kill Snoke, and then, once again, Skywalker and Palpatine would rule the galaxy, both of them becoming what their predecessors had failed to be. But obviously that didn't work out, and so by the time we came to The Rise of Skywalker, with them fighting on opposite sides, Palpatine had to choose, so he pits Kylo and Rey against one another, under the belief that either Rey will refuse to join the dark side and be killed, or she will indeed ascend the throne and become Empress Palpatine. But I think that just about covers this theory, so what do you guys think about it? I think this is a really interesting idea, and I do believe that it should check out with everything timing-wise, and if not, they can always make minor adjustments or whatever. It's not like it would have to all play out exactly as I just proposed here. But again, let me know what you guys think about this because I think this is a really cool idea. With that being said though, I am going to end this video here, so please remember to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and of course, may the Force be with you always.